Yo, what's going on guys, callvapor here, and welcome back to the video. Today I'm going to be showing you what fruits you should use in Battle Royale, and which fruits will get you the most wins. In this video, I'm going to be excluding 5 fruits, Suki, Spin, Kilo, Bari, and Gomu, simply because they aren't going to be used in any of the fights in the game. It is truly just better to use the Gut Punch over these fruits, so that's why they aren't on the list. For this video, to make it simple to understand, I'm going to be ranking these fruits from the ones you shouldn't pick up to the ones you should. For example, the last fruit on the list shouldn't be eaten before the first one on the list. Hope this clears things up on how this video is going to work, and let's just get right into it. The first fruit I want to talk about is Suna. Suna is actually so bad, and the only move that you can do anything to your enemies besides the one true combo extender it has is the Tornado, and that is very hard to hit. Also, the ult doesn't actually do much in the final circle, so that's why I'm going to keep it at the very bottom of this list. The second fruit on this list is Bomu, and the only reason it is above Suna is because of the lots of presence it has in the final circle. So this is definitely a last resort fruit. It doesn't actually have any combo extenders, and it does solo damage, so I would not pick this up unless I'm desperate. The third fruit is Tori. Now you may be thinking I'm crazy for putting it this low, but if you think about it, Tori is actually like awful. The only move you can damage your opponents with is the Z move, and you have to go into your form before that, so it is questionable. The ult is pretty good, and the mobility is crazy, so that's why it's not at the very bottom of the list, but there's definitely better fruits. The fourth spot is Gura. We are starting to work our way into the OK section of fruits, so Gura has its flaws, but I would definitely use it if I saw it. It has a ton of damage, especially with the wave, and the shockwave is really good block breaker that can save you. Now, it doesn't have any combo extenders except the grab, but it has a lot of AoE, so that's why it's in this spot. In the fifth spot, we have Marrow. Marrow is very, very good, and it has a true combo extender, and the Z move allows you to heart rate from like a mile away. Not much else to say here, so it's going to stay in this spot. In sixth, we have Kage. Again, not much else to say here. There's a lot of spamming with this fruit, and it has a lot of block breakers, I will say, though. If I didn't have the ult, it would definitely be at the very bottom of the list, along with Suna. So go watch my video on it if you want to learn how to use Kage. In seventh, we have Pika. Pika is definitely good, especially in duos, but if you get into a 1v1 fight and you have Pika, you only have 2 moves you can use, and the rest is on your sword. The ult is very good though, and the fly is basically impossible to stop, so that's why it's going to be up this high. In 8th, we have Yomi. Yomi is actually so good for 1v1 PvP, as it has 2 combo extenders, but it lacks a ton of zone control, and if you're in a duos fight, the only thing that can help your teammate is a stomp. But other than that, it is one of the best fruits to pick up in solos, and will win you a ton of games if you use correctly. If you want to learn how to use Yomi too, I have another video on it, so you should go watch it. In 9th, we have Goro. Goro has a very last good circle fruit, so that's why it's in the spot. The Storm is also very good, and you can use it in the final circle, and the Fly buffs it very high on this list, because you can actually teleport to your enemies, I mean. It does have a true combo extender, and a makeshift Pika light kick, so it is a universally good fruit, and I think that's why you should pick it up if you see it. In 10th, we have Yami. Yami would be near the list, the bottom of the list, if it wasn't for the pull. It is actually an awful fruit, and the moveset is actually terrible, and you don't have much opportunity to kill your enemies with it. But since the pull is so good for duos and squads, I'm keeping it this high. In 11th, we have Mochi. Mochi is obviously this high because of the spam, and it has a pretty good ult, although it doesn't do much in the final circle. It can save your teammate or you and allow you to regen a bit, so that's why the ult is good. The buzz cut is also crazy. I think everybody knows that the buzz cut is actually insane, since you can run away from it in every fight if you're gonna die. So what else is there to say? It's literally just Mochi. In 12th, we have Magu. Magu is very good because of the ult and the 2 orbs you can throw. Also, the Eruption does the same damage, and they have never nerfed it, so having a lot of double fruit can basically have your opponent down half their HP in one move. The only reason Magu isn't at the top is because of the lack of mobility and the ways you can counter it by the P blocks. In 13, we have Zushi. Now, if you're questioning this, you have never faced a Zushi in Final Circle. The ult is absolutely crazy, and it clears the entire zone from other players. And the pull is actually, like, it can be used from so far away. It has 2 combo extenders, and it literally has a push that sends the opponent flying. And the number 1 fruit you should use is Mara, so I think we all know this. The Fireflies can do 200 damage from like 1,000 meters away. And if you use it properly, the burn damage it's just absolutely atrocious to deal with. The Flame Pillar does a ton of damage, and you can literally fly and use the Flame Pillar. And it's a block breaker. And we're not even going to talk about the ult in the final circle. If you ever see a Mara, you need to eat it as soon as possible. If you're losing a 1v1, you can literally just fly away. It's just literally crazy. Anyways, I hope this helps you out and what fruit you should use and which ones you shouldn't. Remember, I am human. There's always like a margin for error that could happen. But from my experience, everything in this list is accurate. Anyways, that's all I have for you. Leave a like, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.